24 hours with JB, part 2. As I was saying, this helps me become a better person. This puts me in a different stratosphere. You know, because at times I overthink, at times I underthink, and just having somebody on the same page as me, just having somebody who I could check myself in with is therapeutic. And my wife and I, we speak often. You know what I mean? Uncomfortable conversation after uncomfortable conversation. If you know me, you know really and truly I'm all about an uncomfortable conversation. Right? See, that's a good part. Like I said, that just came from my unconscious. So even with me always willing to have an uncomfortable conversation, what happened after a while was I would have an uncomfortable conversation with anybody, anywhere, anytime. Which is a good thing, because honestly speaking, growing up, I was always bashful, right? To whereas now, or when I reach a certain point in my life, I became boisterous, vocal, if you will, right? And with me doing so, I'm having conversation after conversation with every single body, but oftentimes you tend to realize that an uncomfortable conversation is only prosperous and or effective if you are willing to come to a common grounds, right? If you are willing to come to a common ground, as well as that person is willing to come to a common ground, the two of you have to merge together and say, okay, we had the uncomfortable conversation. This is how you feel. This is how I feel. This is where we should meet in the middle. And a lot of times people can do that, yes, but a lot of times people can't do that, right? And what tends to happen is you find yourself right back into that toxic ball. You find yourself right back into that toxic mess. And once you see that happening repeatedly, which has happened with multiple people throughout my life, you have to stop having the uncomfortable conversations, because they're no longer effective. You're essentially wasting time. Because an uncomfortable conversation requires energy. It requires time, something you can't get back, right? The only two things in life that you can never get back is life and time. Once they're gone, it's gone. So I say that to say, have that uncomfortable conversation with someone who you know is going to cause longevity, is going to be able to correctly reconcile the differences, and the two of you could move along. But if not, beloved, they're taken away. And they're not just taken away from you, they're taken away from your loved ones. They're taken away from your goals. They're taken away from your journey. They're taken away from your core, right? What centers you. And you have to ask yourself, is that person and or people powerful enough or worthy enough to take away from me? And they may be. On the flip side, they may not be. So therefore, you have to find some sort of common ground with you and set boundaries. My fault. I didn't think I was going to have a therapy session with you all today. It just came out. You know what I mean? Again, mental health for me is everything, man. Your mental has to be intact. If your mental is not intact, you cannot and will not progress the way you truly want to. You could do all the working out. You could do all the motivational talks, all the beloved. You have to dig deep inside your soul, right? You could do as much prayer as you want to, all the above. Eat healthy, right? All of those things work. Trust me, I'm an advocate for everything I just mentioned. But again, you have to dig deep to get the cognitive functions functioning properly, right? If your mental health is not intact, you're not intact. That's enough of that. I feel like I turned into a damn therapist myself on it. Nonetheless, we're really and truly working this year, man. We're not doing the New Year's resolutions, new announcements, none of the above, man. This year, inshallah, we are working. We putting the pen to the paper. If you waited to January 1st, 2025 or December 31st, 2024 to, beloved, you're behind the 8 ball already. You're behind the 8 ball already. Really and truly, you should have been finishing the goals from the previous year, and or you should have 2025's goals already set in motion. You should have subscribed to what you plan to subscribe to already. You should have made that all the above. You should have done everything that you set out to do in 2025 towards the latter end of 2024 to make that transition a nice one. And I'm not striving, and I'm not trying to be discouraging, right? But I'm just telling you, waiting to a certain point in time to get it done is not effective, right? For lack of a better terms. Because why are you waiting? That's what you have to ask yourself. Why are you waiting? Tomorrow may never come. We don't know. But what we do know is we're here in the current moment. So thus, let's make it happen now. Even as I'm talking to you, the sun is literally coming up. And that's because I've been making it happen since the moment I opened my eyes. I said, Joe, I'm going out there to get it. I'm going out there to put my best foot forward regardless. Right? Dauntless. We speak about that word often. You have to remain dauntless if you truly want it. This is me at my very best. But me at my very best will be my worst going forward because I plan to continuously elevate. I want to break the ceiling. I want to break the resistance level, technically speaking, in the stock market, right, with the charts that we speak about often. I want to break that resistance level time after time. I want to prove to myself that I am him. I want my loved ones to brag about me. I want to be as uncomfortable as possible. That's my plan for 2025. Be as uncomfortable as possible. Anything that makes you comfortable, move away from that. We're not on it like that. We're not carrying it like that. We are here to make a blueprint, to make a stamp, to sign our names on the dotted line of those contracts, of those deeds, of those stock accounts, of the everything, anything that's going to take us to another level, anything that's going to yield a return, anything that's going to make us uncomfortable is going to cause us to grow. And with that growth comes elevation, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. Right? This is where altruistic comes into play, because you're being unselfish to those around you. And in order for you to be altruistic, you have to first do the work on you. You have to know really and truly that I am more than capable of breaking through those barriers. Whatever has held me back for so long, I'm going to leave that where it's at, and I'm running. I'm striving. I'm sprinting or jogging to the next level, to the next lap. It's very much possible. I'm working this morning. What am I working on? Stay tuned and you'll see. But inshallah, you will see. Let's get to it. Heavy on investments, leader of a tribe.